Okay, welcome back to my cooking channel. Today we're going to do another couple of quick Christmas buffet items that are pretty quick and easy to do. I'm going to do some smoked salmon tartlets and also some caramelized onion and cheese tartlets. The difference being I'm not using pastry. I'm actually going to use bread rolled out and actually toasted it's like a crouton type base, and we use that. So what we're going to need today for the ingredients, we have got 2 beaten eggs, a bit of salt and pepper there. We've got about 100 grams of smoked salmon. I've used smoked salmon trimming bits, which has been blended to cut it up fine. About 100 grams of sour cream there. 1 onion chopped up fine. About 30 grams of cheese, whichever cheese you like. 50 mils of cream, single or double, whichever you want. Pinch of mustard. Pinch of cayenne pepper, about 25 grams of butter. Got some oil here which I've soaked overnight with garlic, and the other option we use is bread. Now what you need to do, you need to roll the bread out so you make it into little thin rounds like this. So we need those to put in the patty tin. So let's move this. So basically it's pretty easy. Just get your cutter, the other side, cut a bit out of the bread, and then we just roll that flat as we can into a round. Pretty simple to do. Now the bread you have left over, that's that done. So basically it's just a little thin pancake type little thing you're going to put in the tin there. So any bread you got left over, do not throw that away. I will actually be putting that in the freezer, and I will be using that to make an old-fashioned bread pudding later on, which I will bring the recipe for that. So it's one more recipe I got from my mother. It's a really old-fashioned recipe. So what we need to do now, once we've cut these up into the rounds, you just need to brush bottoms with, you can use butter if you want, a mixture of the garlic and the oil, and then just press them down into the patty tins or cake tins, whichever you prefer. So again, with just olive oil, garlic brushed, and put that in. So we do that to all of them. Now I'm going to use all of these for both tartlets. I'm going to do half with the smoked salmon, and then the other half I'm going to do with the caramelised onion. So what we do that, fill the pan up, and then it goes in the oven. But also a bit of the garlic oil on the inside, just kind of get it nice and crispy. So I'm going to get these finished off. I will then put these in the oven. Gas mark 4, which is about 350 Fahrenheit, 180 degrees, about 15 to 20 minutes. They're nice and crispy. So I'm going to finish that off, and I'll come back to you when that's finished. So I'm now going to caramelise the onions. I've got the butter in the pan. I'll melt that down. I'll then add the onions in, and I will reduce it very slowly, keep them stirring so they don't get burnt until the onions are nice, tender and caramelised. That will take about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to put this on the hob now, get this cooking for you, and I'll come back when it's done. Alright, just waiting while I'm waiting for the onions to caramelise. I'll whip the sour cream up a little bit so it's a little bit thicker. You could use double cream if you wanted to, or creme fraiche, whichever, or anything else you liked. So when that's done, all I do is just gently fold in the smoked salmon. I decided to use smoked salmon trimmings. One, it makes it a bit cheaper. You can use more sort of upmarket smoked salmon if you want, but I find this works just as well actually. So just give that a little mix around. This normally goes well down when we have our buffets on Boxing Day. Don't tend to cook Boxing Day, I tend to do a lot of finger food and buffet food and make a lot of this stuff myself. Everybody seems to prefer that. I think you're pretty much stuffed on Boxing Day after all the chocolates you have on Christmas Day. So that's basically mixed up. I'll now leave that. That's going to be ready to spoon into the cases when they're done. Right, they're all cooked and nice and crispy, so they're come out of the oven. So you can put them in an airtight container a couple of weeks before and do them just before Christmas or on Christmas Day or Boxing Day if you decide to eat them then. Now all we do, the mixture I made earlier with the smoked salmon, we just spoon that into each dish. You can make these bigger, of course. You can. If you've got a bigger patty tin, you can make it into 4-inch tarts. But these little ones are actually quite a nice bite size. Actually can be eaten 1 or 2 bites. I would suggest you only put them out just before you're going to eat them, or put a few out at a time and keep the rest in the fridge. So, because it has got sour cream and smoked salmon in it, you need to keep these nice and fresh. So it's a pretty simple one, this one, but they're lovely for buffets and parties. Doesn't even need to be Christmas, really. Let me do another one. I'm just waiting for the caramelised onions to cool down a little bit. Now, because it's got sour cream in, smoked salmon, I don't think they would freeze and thaw out very well, because I think the cream, especially sour cream, would go a bit watery. But I'm going to hold one back and put it in the freezer as a test batch. I'm going to do some more cases as well, and I'll use the rest of this for them, and I'll be having that for my tea with Sally tonight. So all you do, once you've got them done, just a pinch of cayenne pepper along the top of each one. Cayenne being a mild chili pepper, it just gives it a nice bit of edge to it. I think that's enough, and there we go, and that's the first bit done. So they are the smoked salmon tartlets with garlic crouton type cases for you. So there we go, that's those ones done. And let's get on and do the caramelised cheese and the onions one. So we've got the beaten eggs, well, not beaten yet, but in the eggs you put the cream, and then the mustard powder, a half a teaspoonful. Beat that up nice and it's all mixed up together. There's a pretty simple recipe of these two. And these ones do freeze up pretty well, actually. I've frozen these ones before and they've come out okay. That's the egg done. So what we now do, I'm going to be making some more of these little cases when I finish this. Now, what I tend to do is put a little tiny bit of cheese in the bottom of each case. Again, these would go ideal in a 4-inch tart tin, or even a 9 or 7-inch. You can even do a big one. So a bit of cheese in the bottom. That's the way I do mine. And then on top of that, we put a bit of the caramelised onions, which are nice and caramelised. That one, oops. So I will put a little bit more cheese on top of those, so the onion is sandwiched in between the cheeses. So you could use whatever cheese you want for this one, Parmesan, mozzarella, good old extra mature cheddar, does pretty well. So that goes into there. Now I'm just going to pour this egg mixture on top, and then once that's done, they've got to go back in the oven. Again, normal gas mark for 350, 180, for about 25-30 minutes until the tops, until it's all nice and firm. Look. And you will get some overrunning, doesn't particularly matter. Best we can. Right. So they're going to go back in the oven, and I'll bring them out when they're finished and I'll show you the finished product. There we go, there's the caramelised cheese and onion tarts there. Let's put a bit of our paprika over the top, So that's it. So they're all ready to go. So you can serve them warm, or they're nice if they go cold. They're nice for a cold buffet. So there we go. That's today's offering. The smoked salmon tartlets and the caramelised onion and cheese tartlets. There we go, that's another bit of cooking done. Smoked salmon tartlets and the caramelised onion and cheese tartlets. I hope you enjoyed those. Ideal for a Christmas party, Christmas buffet. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. There is a few more on my channel. I've only just started doing this, so that will actually help me a lot. So please look after yourselves, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next one.